Excellent.
Hold on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is Mr. Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is the show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Howdy, everybody in the chat room. Welcome. This is episode number 266, ever closer to 300.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're going to jump right into the show with today's coupon code. It's cadence. Just kidding. It's called cadence because of this week's project, which we'll take a look at in a couple of moments. Let's walk through the show openers. We got freebie deals. Head on over to adafruit.com/free to see all the different deals. While supplies last, of course. For orders that are $99 or more, you get a free Perma-Proto half-size breadboard. For orders that are $200 or more, you get the breadboard plus UPS ground shipping for the continental US only. And for orders that are $299 or more, you get the Perma-Proto, the ground shipping, and a free Circuit Playground Express that works with CircuitPython, Arduino. I almost said that wrong. And a bunch of other stuff like MakeCode. So definitely check it out, again, while supplies last, while we have supplies, and we do right now. You could also use coupon code cadence to go with your freebies, I think. They get automatically added to your order. If you are in the New York City area and you need your stuff like right now, right meow, we have a same-day delivery option in New York City. There's Adabot with the box. So go and see if the shipping works for you if you're over there in New York City. We have newsletters once a week. We have a new products-focused newsletter that's going to be at adafruit.com/newsletter. How simple is that? We also have daily newsletters. This is standalone, not tied to your account. So if you're not subscribed and you'd like to be, you got to go do the work. adafruitdaily.com. You can subscribe to all the different categories like CircuitPython on hardware. I think it's just Python on hardware because it also covers MicroPython. We have 3D printing, that's our jam, and lots of other stuff like biohacking, make a business. Am I missing stuff? Make Code is a new one as well, so check that one out. All right, we're hanging out in the Discord server right now in the live broadcast chat room. If you want to head on over to the Discord, we have an invite link for you. It's discord.gg/Adafruit, and that will get you the entry into Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, free to make an account. Lots of folks are there. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us this morning.
Shout outs to everybody in the chat. Stu Wester, Andy Calloway, J. Cole. And over on the YouTube chat, we got Mattable hanging out. We're in the Facebook as well as Twitch. Good morning.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm switching between tabs.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's project, or do we want to do some housekeeping first? I think you got all that.
What's the housekeeping? Right? Oh yeah, we got jobs board. Go to jobs.adafruit.com and see all the awesome jobs that are out there. If you're an employer looking for some employees with some maker skills, check it out. There's like new entries posted every week, so it's free to do so if you'd like to set up your your resume or your profile. It's free to do so. There's no spam here. Lamar and Phil, Mr. Lady Ada himself, they actually vet all the different accounts and things, so there's no spam. It's really good. It's also free. Did I mention it's free? So check it out. You can make your profile, and we have lots of success stories, so that's really cool. All sorts of different skills out there, whether you're an embedded firmware engineer or maybe you're a designer looking to do some cool creative stuff. There's lots of fun entries. And Adafruit is also looking for some stuff too. We're looking for some filter fans, folks that know FIRSINC filter stuff. So check it out. That's a lot of remote work. Great way to kind of get some extra gigs on there. Sweet. All right, that is the jobs board. All right, are you ready?
I believe so.
I'm ready.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's project. This is a really cool one by Dylan, Harada.
Yeah, this is a lot of people. So Dylan,
Dan,
Harada
Scott,
worked on the
John
code.
Park.
Yeah, as well as Dan, Scott. And this is like a accumulation of all the BLE IO libraries for CircuitPython. So this is running off the new Adafruit Clue dev board. It's got Bluetooth. It's got the NRF52840, which is the chipset we're really liking. So it runs with CircuitPython. This is all written in CircuitPython. It uses display.io to display some custom fonts and graphics. It's using the BLE library for CircuitPython that is connecting to this Wahoo sensor that's an off-the-shelf sensor for tracking cadence and speed. It uses these magnets to track, to sense how, how
the rotation
cadence,
of
the rotation.
the pedal and the
Thank you.
bike,
Words.
so it can see how many rotations is going and the speed that you're traveling at. You also have Apple Music service, so you can control things like your volume on your Apple device. See that there, as well as the play and
pads.
pause buttons are also used for pausing playing, and then you can go forward and back.
I'm gonna turn the headlights off. You keep demoing.
And then one of the other cool things about it is the case has been redone, so it fits a 1/4-20. Huge shout outs to Bill Binko, who suggested this. We do have different versions of the diameter size for fitting on different handlebars, as well as the way that the lid is attached. So you can use the standard M5 screws to connect your 3D printed bracket, or a much better option is going to be using the 3/8 to 1/4-20 adapter, so you can easily mount this to a tripod or mount it back onto a different sized bracket for whatever other applications you want to use to mount this guy on. So you can use it as a desktop environmental sensor, or have it use with the bike to track your cadence and all that.
Yeah, it's a great little case just for general purpose projects anyway. If you need to have a battery, there's plenty of room in the case for a battery and a slide switch. It's got that really nice built-in reset tab on the back, so you can double press that if you want to update the firmware. That's really cool. We also have a couple holes here to break out a couple of the sensors there. We could always mix those, make them bigger if you want, but they're there. Let's see, you got snap fit backing, so that's easy to install. No screws needed other than the tripod screw.
Whoops.
And you put, yeah, I like this one. Yeah, and it's got it breaks out the touch pads on the bottom there. No, just the ones that are touch pads. You have the 1, 2, and 3, or the 0, 1, and 2. Those are touch pads. And then you got access to those 2 big buttons there. And it also breaks out the LEDs on the front for that proximity sensor or light sensor.
Yeah.
So you can do lots of stuff.
Nice little gesture type stuff. Add all that in there, all written in CircuitPython, so you're able to easily edit the code. One of the sensors that is supported that we didn't put on here is the heart rate sensor, so we can also display that. Oh, once the Wahoo goes to sleep.
It'll just kick you. The loop will just kind of kick you out and say, "Hey, go ahead and restart and find your sensor."
The cool thing is that it reconnects pretty well. Nice little load screen there.
Yeah, this is great. Look at that logo. Blinka taking over Pyloton. Pyloton. Yeah, very cool.
So like you were saying before, it fits both of the green and the black boards. And I found out once we got the green board in that there is like a 0.5 difference in height for the board. So updated the case if anybody was adventurous.
Of the board?
No, the height of it. So it's a little bit like
Oh, okay.
by
I think I
0.5
mean.
smaller.
I'm like, height? What do you mean?
So if anybody saw John Park's guide, I had the Fusion 360 files on there. So if anybody downloaded those, go ahead and get the updated versions for those.
Cool. Any other differences? It seems the screen placement is the same. The buttons are the same.
about the
It
same.
should really be the same. That's
It was just the
interesting that
height
board
of it.
is a little
I know.
bit taller, I guess, or longer.
Yep. But
Whichever
all
orientation
fixed
you
up in
look.
there, and if you have the, if you grab the Fusion 360 files, it's super easy to just adjust the walls for all of this.
Sweet.
Like we were saying before, excellent to have on as a tripod mount or the brackets for any of the bikes.
Yeah.
And because it's using the quarter 20 or the 3/8 of quarter 20, we have all the components and parts like the little swivel mini ball head. So you can have that on your tripod. We also have the quarter 20 to quarter 20, so you can attach multiple or attach it to pretty standardized.
Yeah, you could use
mounts.
GoPro mounts, clamps, little super clamps as well, magic arms, lots of different cool ways to kind of fix it on anything.
If you want to keep the hardware part list down, you could just use the M5, but it's a little bit more difficult. Say if you want to take this off, you're going to have to remove the entire bracket. With this, you can just spin the whole guy off and continue using it in different applications.
Yeah,
So
I like
a lot more easier to do that, I believe.
Lots of options.
Yes. Oops.
Touchpad,
That's
you
the
touch
demo.
it.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Oh, it looks like the cadence sensor went to sleep.
Yeah, it goes to sleep every 2 minutes.
Yeah, just because it has the one of the coin cell batteries, so it does need to go to sleep every 2 minutes for that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Learn Guide.
Excellent. Let me cue
This
that
was
up.
written by awesome John Park. Did a full walkthrough of setting up the entire board and the code, getting to know a little bit about the BLE sensor on there.
Looks like we have separate Learn Guides as well for just the heart rate sensor
Yes.
and the cadence sensor. We have a more simplified version of that as well. So if you're looking to just tweak it or get the most simplest, you can check out these previous guides. Also, we have a standalone guide for BLE devices connecting to Apple Media Service. So using that library and using it with your project. So those are really nice to have here as their standalone guides. A lot in this. All right, here's a part list. We were talking about some of the hardware. It does fit a handful of different batteries that we have, 420s, the 400s, and the 350s. Those are all linked here. Slide switch, the JST extension. Here are the screws that we carry, the adapters, the swivel ball head. We don't carry the screw for the M5 screw, but you can get those at your local hardware store.
Yep.
And then you can get this Wahoo sensor from Amazon if you prefer. All right, so there's your parts list. Here's the screw. We got those in stock right now. These are really nice.
Andy Kelway saying a walkthrough or a ride through.
Good one. And then this is a little quarter inch to quarter inch screw adapter for extra bits. And here's that lovely little swivel head that we have. Sweet. All right, those are those hardware bits.
I'll post
Hop
the
back
links
over here. I'm getting lost. All right, so those are the parts. If you are looking to get the Clue, you can sign up for notifications to get emailed when they are back in stock. We are working on getting them.
Over the weekend, we had a couple hundred in stock, and they went pretty fast.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you
surprised
for
I was
your
able to grab another one.
Right, yeah. We really needed the good thing we got the green version because we found there's some differences in the board, and we want to make sure that the cases fit, accommodate the size fittings that may have changed. Here's that heart rate sensor. We kind of skipped this one, but just know that it definitely does work and it has been tested. JP leaded that one, so he's tested that one. And here's a look at how the Wahoo sensor is mounted. I didn't know it gets mounted there in the center of the spokes. It must be different. But yeah, here's your iOS device. You can set that up in the code whether you want to use the heart rate, the cadence, or the Apple Media Service. You can easily enable those in the code, which we'll walk through in a bit. Understanding BLE will just kind of walk you through some of the terminology of how the BLE devices broadcast and connect. We've got gap mode and gap mode. I got to read through this one as well, so I have some homework to do. Thanks, John, for putting all this together, though.
There was a ton, like you said, there was 3 different projects that were combined, and lots and lots of code by Dan and Scott to get all of this working seamlessly.
Yeah.
It's always the simple projects that take so much work to get the simplicity.
Simple's hard.
Very hard.
CircuitPython on Clue. This will walk you through setting up CircuitPython, the latest version, on your Clue board. So it's real easy to do so. You can get your board into bootloader mode by double pressing the reset button on the back. Then you'll get the NeoPixel will turn green, and then you'll connect it over USB to your computer. It'll show up as a boot drive. You'll be able to drag and drop that UF2 file onto the boot drive. It'll automatically flash and do magic. And then you can start adding your code and stuff. So this little mini guide just walks you through setting up that. The libraries, you can download the bundle from CircuitPython.org. Here's a quick link to do so. You just want to grab that and pull out the individual libraries that you required for this project. You've got a good handful of libraries here. Basically, all the libraries that are supported for all the different sensors on the device. So they're all here, plus some extra bits like the display shapes and display text for doing all the nice custom fonts and graphics. So this will help you just kind of let's say cross-reference all the required libraries. There's a handful of them, so you definitely want to do, double take and maybe even a triple take. Once you get those libraries in your Clue board, you want to check them again, because no, seriously, there's a good handful of them, and sometimes they get you miss one like this one. So here, this screenshot here will give you an idea of what it looks like on your boot drive or your USB drive. Because at this point, you want to grab all the project assets. We got a couple of bitmaps and fonts for this project. As you can see here, we got 3 different font sizes and like a little Blinka bitmap that is sort of the splash screen. And because it's CircuitPython, you have complete control to customize the fonts, the graphics, where the text is, and completely theme it out to whatever you like. So that's really fun, and that's one of the awesome things about CircuitPython is it's completely open, and the changes are like rapid, as I almost said a bad word.
Yeah, one of the things that we could easily edit on there was, if you don't have all of the sensors, like the heart rate sensor in our case, you just go in there and type false.
Yeah, and it's spelled out for you. So the heart, the speed, the cadence, AMS stands for Apple Music Service. And if you want to turn debug mode on, you can do so as well. By default, it's set to false. You'll also want to do a little bit of customization. I guess because of the maths, you want to update this little bit here, where the circumference of the wheel is kind of important. So we have a little chart that is linked to in the Learn Guide that walks you through all the different sizes of bikes out there. Ours is like a Walmart bike. It's a little bit of a BMX short bike. And it worked out. We were able to punch in the numbers, and it's, as far as we know, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, quick tip, the sizes of the tire is written on the tire. So they're trying to measure it, and they're like, wait a minute, it says right here.
It says right on the tire. It shows how little we know about bikes. All right, so shout out to Dylan and JP, John Park, for walking through each bit here. Everything's really broken out here and spelt out for you, so you can get a good idea of what all the little sections of the code is doing, which is great. If you're going to write your own project, you definitely want to reference some of this demo code here, so you can get an idea of how to get the connections all set up. Okay, this walks through the main loop, which is really handy. And we also have a little bit of a setup here for importing all those lovely libraries. This one uses the Clue library as well for doing some of the stuff. And we got some classes here as well. So it's really thoroughly broken out for you, all the bits and pieces. So definitely check it out if you are indeed looking to make a project using the BLE libraries and Display.io. Wow. Yeah, it's really, really thorough. I'm still scrolling.
No, it's huge.
Dang, this is so good.
Set to sleep, updating the display. Yeah, there's a ton of testing that went into this to get all the fail-safes. Yeah. And all of the little edge cases on things.
It had the error handling. It has like its own library called Pyloton.
It's so awesome.
So check it out.
All the cool things that could be added to this hopefully would be like logging or...
oh, this is a great example if you want to do like something with the touchpads. This right here, this chunk of code right here looks really good.
Wow.
Check that out. All right, and then wait, I kind of skipped a page, the 3D printing page. This is our jam here. We made sure that the parts are all oriented so you can just set it up and print it out.
Yes.
And maybe there's a little bit of support for that little switch
slide switch, yeah. It might be able to print without if you have really good blower fans on each side of your nozzle, but just to be safe, I did add some 3 small towers. They're about 2 millimeters each. Inside of Cura or Simplify 3D, you can add those right underneath there, and you can actually adjust the size. A lot of people don't know that with the plugin for the support, custom supports for Cura, you go in there and adjust the individual sizes of the towers that are placed. Just use the 2 millimeter one, so you could easily snap those off with a flush cutter.
Nice. And we've got some settings here too that are kind of standardized for our PLA stuff.
Yeah, some people were asking, oh, is the PLA going to be strong enough if you're in the heat right around the bike? And yes, there shouldn't be any melting unless you're storing it inside of the floor to heat, inside of your car.
Yeah.
And then when it's like 130 degrees, then you will get some droopage. But because these cases are, or the components inside the cases aren't that heavy, you should be just fine.
Yeah, I don't see, there's not much weight on them.
Exactly.
So it should be pretty good. Yeah.
One of the most complicated things about this was trying to keep all of the different diameter sizes in the M5 case versus the quarter 20 cases. So I laid all those out there in individual Fusion 360 files, since the way that I couldn't figure, I'm sure there's a way to do the parameters easier where you move something.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get it. I just made different files for each one. And the STL files are all listed too. You'll either have the tripod version or the 31 millimeter version or 24 millimeter diameter version for the different handles. Thankfully, there's only 2 standard sizes for the bikes.
Nice.
I would have ripped my hair out with making all these different sizes. So you can get one that'll fit your bike.
Okay. And then this also links to the 3050 case.
You could just use the case, yeah. If you don't want to mount it to a bike, or if you have like some weird setup for the handlebars or something like that, where we've seen like in our neighborhood that one guy who does the wheeling with his hand.
Right.
It's super cool. So you can have it that way.
Sure.
And another thing too, why I made it complicated, because I was designing both of these cases at the same time, which made it a little hard to keep track of when you're designing something. The geometries, are different with certain fit cases. You have to like make sure that you carry all those changes over to the other case and vice versa. It's like
Yeah.
Well, I have all those editable CAD files there.
Yeah.
Same thing with the wearable case one, and that just links you to the wearable band guide for that. So you can get all those links and files right there.
All right, and then after you get your parts printed, it's time to assemble.
Pretty easy in terms of the assembly. One of the only things you need to glue is the frame on there. One thing I should have mentioned is just because of the way that some of these are assembled, the screen may need to be pushed over to the center just a little bit.
Yeah, so there's like double-sided tape that's on the back of the display.
Yeah. One of the tools I recommend
doing this, but we're
just
gonna tell you anyway.
super careful. One of the tools that I recommend if you do want to
there you
go be adventurous and adjust the screen.
If the screen is placed a little bit off center,
yeah, you might want to center
or a
it.
lot, you might want to center it.
So these are called paint palettes. You can get these like at your art store, and multiple uses for these for 3D printing. We use these to pry the prints off of a bed. So the Ultimakers are using the glass bed, or if you don't have a flexible bed, sometimes if the parts are too small, even on a flexible bed, you'll need some way to pry it off. And these are super thin, so you're able to get right underneath the corner and carefully pry off your print without damaging it. And even though it's nice and thin, it is nice and strong. So just super careful when you're underneath the screen to peel off some of the adhesive, get that off and center it on the board. There is an outline on the Clue board that'll show you.
The solder mask.
Exactly.
Here's the silk screen. Yeah, the silk screen.
Yeah, maybe
a little.
Show that real quick. See how it is. Sometimes they are literally butted right up against the
that's
the
where
button.
you probably want to readjust it if you plan to use the
feeling
case.
of entrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So be super careful on that, just because of the way the yields.
We do have replacement screens as well, so if the unfortunate event where the display's guts get sprayed everywhere.
You can unplug these, and it should hopefully drop fit back into place with the ribbon cable and all that.
Yeah.
Moving on, the frame is glued right onto the top. I recommend the star bond is what we used to glue the frame on there, and it's gonna the bezel, so it'll do a nice job of protecting the screen, making sure that you know, if you fall off or something inside, it'll give it some sort of protection.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
From that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just gluing like all the corners on there since it is such a small footprint to adhere to the main case.
The glue bottles for the star bond glue has these very small precision tips, so that's really, really helpful when you have such a small surface area. So applying this onto the edges of the bezel there is a lot easier when you have a nice way to apply it. So this is the little super glue that we use, Star Bond. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the glue?
I would recommend the thin one. I would get the medium size one. This one's a little bit runny.
Oh.
So
the time takes a little bit longer to cure or something.
Yeah.
Does it say water?
It feels more watery.
Yeah. Quick penetration for powdered inlays.
Yeah, it's this guy right
High
here.
glossy finish.
It's the medium. Our most used super glue.
Yep.
Let's see, making sure I'm posting all links and all that.
Yeah.
Continuing on, one of the things that we are going to need is a tap tool. So we have a 3/8
3/8 16 tapping tool. That's the right threading size for the tripod screw adapter.
So this should print okay with the orientation because it's vertically. It should print a little bit more higher quality than the bracket, which is printed at a horizontal because of the overhangs. I even tried with support material on the inside. It does droop a little bit and will make it very hard to get the 3/8 1/4-20 screw adapter in there. So definitely recommend picking up one of the tapping tools.
But the threading is modeled in there, so it will definitely help.
It does
get kind of engage the tapping tool. The tip of it is tapered, so you should have a good time with it.
What
you got?
Just to show how to
tools.
Yeah, I can't find any of the like a flathead that had a long enough.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
End. Yeah, so I'm just using the end of tweezers.
Yep.
And you can see on here, once you get that nice and tapped, you can see all the threads come out very nice.
Wide pitch. I like it.
And the pitch that we're using, I can't remember what it is. It's like ASM 16.
Yeah,
ASI.
Something like that. Unified Imperial.
You can see in history inside of the Fusion 360 file, you can see how these are created, the thread profile for it.
Yeah.
And we're just using the end of the tweezer to fasten that into place.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Heading back over to the Learn Guide. That's how you install it. You definitely want to tap it. All right, your slide switch adapter. You can get the slide switch and wire it in line with either the ground or the voltage wire on your JST wire. You want to have it fairly short, I suppose, so that you don't have too much wire there, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put it in this one, but the other one I put how long the optimal size of the wire to cut. I believe it's like 12 millimeters, and then I tell you like how long to cut, like at what angle or what point to to separate the power, so you can reach the two pins. So I measured all that out in the wearable case guide.
Cool. And you're using here the short cabled
either the 400, the 350, or the 400.
The 420, the 400, and the 350.
That's it, yeah.
They're linked in the overview as well, and you have one on the sidebar here for the 420, which is in stock.
Yes.
How about that one?
The only reason I use the 400 is just because of the rectangular size, and if you mount it with some tack right over the NRF chip, you should have enough spacing so it's not covering up the sensors.
Or the reset button. Make sure it doesn't cover the reset button.
Yes. The slide switch, you can increase the tolerance if the walls that go into the cutout for it. You can pull the two little metal tabs on there to increase the tolerance and press fit that at an angle. And that should pop out right at the cutout.
Yeah, the little actuator bit will come on the other end, come out the other end.
Yep. Attaching the lid, when you first attach this, it is going to be pretty tight tolerance. So I recommend using, again, the palette knife.
Or the spudger tool. We got a nice spudger tool.
Well, this one's a little bit more thinner, so it should work a little bit more better. Whoop.
What fell out?
It's just the magnet. So what I do is I actually take this, put it between here, and actually stretch this out the wall on the main case so that it gives it room to snap in there. And as you take it on and take it off, like 1 or 2 layers of it should come off, and it should make the tolerance not super loose, but it will make it easier to get in there. Okay. Because of the draft that is on the groove where the main tab goes into for the lid. So that's the only thing for that. The first time will be, a little bit hard to get in there, but as you take it off and put it back on, this is a brand new case that was printed, so it still has that super tight tolerance. As you can see, just like 1 or 2 layers comes off, and that'll make it easier to attach on there. You can see you can just pull it like that. I'll give it just enough room so the lid can be grabbed on there.
Yeah, this is the PLA is a little bit more rigid. So if you like PETG, that's a really good material as well, because you'll have more flexibility and a little bit more resistant to the heat as well.
Yeah.
Cool. This is a neat color as well. It's a PLA that
this is from Soltech. It's a green translucent color that there was green. I want to call it space green. Actually, what is so cool is if anybody has the green, I don't even know what color they call it.
Space green.
Yeah, space some green. Whoa! It matches perfectly with the green back of the iPhone.
Really shows it. That's hilarious.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Fun,
this is like a mint type. I don't know, I
don't know if it's mint.
Well,
the case is more minty.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
More like a dark green. I don't know. I like the way the translucency of it is. As you can see the
silk screen.
The lovely silk screen by Phil B on there. Yep. All right, moving on. Sweet. Once you get the lid on there, you have the little trick of using the palette knife to just fit it on there easier.
Okay.
Should snap in there. And then moving on to attaching the bracket to the handlebar. One of the tips that I have for this is using a very low infill, like 5 to 0% infill, will increase the flexibility of the bracket. There's a little GIF there showing how I'm just using some force to press fit it over the handlebar. If you have a high infill, it is going to break on you. The other thing you could do as well is use, like you were saying, PETG or ABS. That should make it a little bit more stronger, but using a lower infill and print it at the orientation that it is, flat, should make it nice and flexible with the lower infill. Now that is one of the things that I ran into right away when trying to mount this to the handlebar. Breaking. It would break on me. It just flew all over the garage.
Nice PLA, brittle.
Yep. But that's a funny trick though. Just use a lower infill to make it more flexible.
Oh, yeah, I get it. It's a good trick.
And we're using the M5 by 16 millimeter long screws with an M5 nut. Using it as a captive nut, and that just goes into the little groove that is on there on the bracket.
Got a little issue here with the rollover element there. Doesn't seem to do it, but yeah, you got a captive nut there for the hex nut.
And the 16 millimeter long screw should be long enough, I believe, for the 31 millimeter diameter one as well.
Okay.
You just gotta squeeze it so it can reach the nut. Moving on, you can use the quarter 20 to quarter 20 to connect the swivel head to the lid. And those, do I have one here? I don't have one. It's linked in the, you can see in the parts list what it looks like. It's basically just, you know,
mail
quarter
to
20,
mail.
yeah, mail to mail. And that'll allow you to connect it to a variety of different mounts.
Excellent. All right, back over. Then, yeah, just twist on there. And
Twist right on. Again, the beauty of having the 3/8 to quarter 20 adapter on there is being able to put it on when you're done cycling. You take it off, bring it inside, so it's not like in the hot elements or anything like that. And the angle that you set with the tripod will stay. So all you got to do is spin it on, spin it off, and you have the exact angle that you last left it on.
Sweet.
Unlike this guy, you'd have to like completely take the whole bracket off and everything, or just pop the lid back off and then risk having your parts fall off.
Right, yeah, it's a little more wary. Okay. So attaching the actual sensor to the bicycle, every bike has a different frame, slightly different. So with ours, we had to add more magnets.
Again, we're not using a cycling bike, it's like a BMX bike, so there was a difference in how the distance between where the spoke is and the sensor on the Wahoo. So we actually had to stack additional magnets on there.
Yep.
So these are, I forget what the diameter, they're linked in the guide that we have, do stock these, and it's, what was it, like 4 additional magnets that were stacked.
We could have printed something, but we kind of ran out of time.
For the spoke?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Of course you could always print
I mean, it's
something,
easier to just stack the magnets on there just so it reaches.
We need to get this going. So that works out there. The position alignment is pretty critical, so the only way to test it is to actually kind of
and you'll see the lights blink once
there's built-in LED in the back of this, right above the Wahoo logo.
Yep, you'll see that blink once the magnets are sensed.
Yeah, so that's how it's set up on ours.
The other obstacle that we had to overcome was usually they have you take the pedals off so you can fit the little band that comes with the pedal magnet.
Yeah.
So what I did here, one of the pictures, you can see that I just used the included zip tie and tied it to a bigger diameter rubber band that we had around.
So there's 2 magnets. One goes in the spoke, one goes in the pedal.
Exactly.
Right? All right.
Yep. So what I did was fit that over the pedal because I couldn't figure out how to remove it from the bike.
Yeah, it looked like it was just hammered or press fitted in.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a cheap bike, so you're gonna get cheap
And what's
parts.
funny is we have like 3 different bikes, and each one of them had the exact same little end or little cap nut or whatever.
For when you buy like a a nice cycling bike.
Yeah.
You get the ability to just good parts that can be taken apart and disassembled.
Again, we could have 3D printed something, but it was a lot more easier to just use the zip ties to attach it to a bigger rubber band and just fit it over.
Did it come, the Wahoo sensor come with rubber bands and whatnot?
It did not, just the zip ties. So again, you're gonna have to get a rubber band that can fit over. If you have that problem, if you have a cycling bike, you can just remove the pedal to fit it over.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Make sure that all of the magnets are lined up with the Wahoo sensor, and you should be able to connect to it and cycle along.
This is a fun project to film as well when we were out there.
Yeah, super fun.
I'm gonna change up our iris here. We're a little dark. Is that working? Let's go to 5. There we go.
Again,
a little bit brighter.
Sign up to get notified when the clue boards come back in stock.
Yeah, please do. And there it is.
I had the page open in one of the tabs and just refresh, keep tracks of the. On Twitter is how I was notified that they were back in stock.
Sure.
So
it's also good to note that this is the alpha release, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's a $29.95 right now.
That is
Once it goes up, once it's out of alpha phase, it'll be $39.95.
I forgot about that. So, yeah, it is introductory price, so definitely go in. Only a couple things got updated, I believe.
Might
more
get the
mentioned in one of the past Ask an Engineer. So
black one, green, black, green. And black again.
Jump on that.
Or get both of them. Collect them all.
I want the blue one.
Yeah, right. There's no blue one. All right. That is this week's project. Shout out to everybody on the team for working on it.
This took a lot of people to get right. A lot of foundation work was done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now the goal is to get a bunch of BLE sensors around the house and having like a central node. Excuse me, in the display.
See, that is what they're working on next. I think John Park showed that off on last week's episode of John Park's workshop. So definitely watch the reruns for that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna jump in the chat real quick to answer any.
Andy Callaway says, "I guess you could say the magnets have a bespoke fitting."
Yes. Good one. All right. Well, we're hanging there. Any?
Don't forget to use 10% off coupon code Cadence. Works on everything except gift certificates and AdaBox, which just got an email on when it will ship. You definitely want to sign up before they're all out.
There it is, adabox.com. It'll get you there. There's a little time ticker up there. Don't let those days fool you. 32 days will come sooner than you think.
Yeah, and it might ship quicker. So definitely sign up for that. Teleputer in the YouTube chat is saying that he's getting his first 3D printer today, the Tivo Tarantula Pro. Awesome.
Excellent. Cool. Let us know how it works out, and yeah.
That's always exciting, unboxing the new printer.
It is.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's, or actually last week's project. More of a product video. We're gonna do a quick one.
Yeah. We're ramping up different things, but
yeah. So while other projects are being worked on, Amara feel like, hey, you know what? We don't have a Circuit Playground Bluefruit video. Where am I? So it gave us a good chance to make a little, overview video of the Circuit Playground Bluefruit, or as I call it, the CPB. CPB. So a good chance to remind everybody we have a bunch of projects that worked with the Circuit Playground Express, the non-Bluetooth version of this board.
Yeah.
The lovely wearable that you designed, 2-3 years ago, something like that. So you can get the download files for that. So if you want to wear this as a nice little watch, we actually we removed the MakeCode section on there because it's still in beta, but you could definitely go in and start playing with maker.makecode to add some interactivity or just some like lighting effects with maker.makecode. It is in alpha, beta, so definitely not fully supported yet, but you could check it out. It's lots of fun to be able to drag and drop blocks so you can edit the code on this Circuit Playground Bluefruit.
Yeah, I'm in maker.makecode. Let's look down here. Look at that. There it is in beta mode. Adafruit Circuit Playground. So if you are a visual learner and you'd like to use code blocks to make projects, this is super early alpha. It's working with like external NeoPixels, some of the on-shake things like that work. I don't think the touch stuff works yet, so if you wanted to do some touch, that won't work yet. But the team over at Microsoft is working on it, so very, very neat. What do we want to do? Let's say on shake, we do a little bit of animation, sparkle. There you go. And then on start, you can say I want to turn on some rainbows forever. And then when you shake it, it'll do that. And that's basically what we have here. The buttons do work, so if you want to do like on button A, I want to play a different animation or play a melody, you can do that as well. If you want to see more of this type of tutorial content, check out John Park's MakeCode Minute, where he walks through how to set up like, little programs and stuff on John Park's workshop. It's actually going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Get cut off there. That was a good segue, right? Yeah. So as we were showing before, you just added a on-shake block on there, so when you're wearing it, you just be like, woo, boop, 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 boop. I think the buttons do something as well. Oh, all right. Do they? Yep. Ah, cool. Well, that's funny. Like, it goes on top of it. Yeah, like I said, it's beta. Yeah. That's a pretty cool effect, though. Cool. Yeah, you got buttons. You got a lot of stuff on the Circuit Playground. Yeah. It's basically like the Clue. Not really, but kind of like the Clue, except the screen.
Oh yeah.
Neopixels.
So
Yeah,
it's
a great little board.
The wearable itself is all Ninja Flex, so it's nice and stretchy.
Oh,
You
yeah, I
have
forgot how
a
this
lovely guide on
comes out
the
like that.
parameters, so you can change the length of how.
Oh, that's right. I did do that. It's nice and thin too. This
Yeah,
is
super
great.
thin.
Like if you're just getting into flexible materials, definitely print something out like this. Not a lot of surface area, so you'll get a good idea of your bed adhesion. And try
Doesn't
not to
take too
use
long.
PEI with NinjaFlex because it tends to fuse to that. I might want to say that again. Avoid using PEI with NinjaFlex. PEI being the material on the bed. If you know what that is, you probably have it. But it works okay with glass, blue tape, and that's pretty much it, yeah. But yeah, it'll fuse to PEI beds. So be careful with that. We also did this USB dock a while ago. That's in the Learn system. Just type in USB dock and this will come up. It's just our little Adafruit breakout for the micro USB. So you can see it's there right there. There's the board. 2 screws hold it in there, and then we have an external little connector there. And we have some Capone tape there to insulate it, I guess. And the snap fits as well. So if you're looking for a good way to prop up your boards, we really like this one. This is a special one because it's dual extruded. But you could also put stickers on there. Micro USB. It might be useful to make a USB-C one.
Yeah, coming soon, huh? I always love it when we get to remake past projects to make them even better than they were before. So USB-C definitely on the.
All right, we gotta go quickly. Let's take a look at what are we working on. I can't wait to show you this. Can you move that a little bit? We have the MIDI guitar. Wrong camera. The MIDI guitar, here it is. It's 3D printed guitar with Cherry MX switches. So yeah, if anybody knows or familiar with Guitar Hero controllers, this uses very similar mechanism, the strum here. So you get the ability to strum. You have a whammy bar that can control the pitch bending of the notes. We also have 2 pots here that can do things like modulation and velocity. We also have an 8-way selector switch here that can change up the different scales or octaves. And then we have 2 switches here for enabling and disabling different modes. This is a collaboration project with Liz, Blitz City DIY. And it's running CircuitPython. So it's a MIDI controller. I've got a little USB plug over here. And we really like these switches. These are your mechanical keyboard switches. They're called Cherry MX switches. So they have these caps that you can pop on and off. And it's such a pleasure to play because like it feels really good when you're clicking around. So this is a project that we are working on a learn guide for. And these are some really nice knobs here.
So awesome.
And it's really fun to play with. I have 10 minutes, so maybe I can just kind of play with it. So what's really cool about it is that you have the ability to, let's load up GarageBand and maybe load up this one here. So it'll work with just about any sort of digital audio workstation that has MIDI. And it's going to be a little bit hard to kind of capture the sound, but we'll work on something so you guys can hear a better
pass
demo
through,
of it.
yeah.
So what's cool about it is that, let me turn it on. So I think it's this switch right here, which will enable. Right, so that is modulation. It's using the LIS3DH accelerometer, our nice low-cost accelerometer breakout board that works with CircuitPython. We got lots of demo code for it. But if you want to disable that and just kind of use this guy over here. So you can do that as well. Let's go to an actual guitar patch so I can test out. Boy, golly, is that amazingly easy. Yeah, so what was I going to do? I don't know. I was going to play something, but I forgot. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun to play with. And if you are a fan of Guitar Hero or Rock Band, you'll be real familiar with this sort of shape and format, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, we also have.
Amazing.
It's pretty fun. We also put NeoPixels. Oh man, it's really blown out. But we put NeoPixels there.
It'll look cool when the
that's really neat.
Yeah,
we're gonna put some black with the acrylic. So it's running off the Grand Central, which has like a butt ton of GPIO. So so folks, if you want to add faders and more pots and more switches, it'll have plenty of I/O because it is running off the Grand Central, which is sort of it's kind of like the Arduino Mega format. So lots of pins. There's lots of wires inside this guy. It does snap fit. It's all 3D printed. There are some little knobs and things here. This is actually a real whammy bar, like a real whammy bar from your standard electric guitar. So that was really fun. It's got like a compression spring in there, so it always reverts to the center. That's how the Guitar Hero controller is. And the switch, or the strumming mechanism, I'll do a demo next week when we have that available. It's working right now. It's just sometimes the notes get a little sticky, so we're working through that. I really like that whammy. It's so fun.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a story too. I'll have to save that for later, but I'm really liking it. Huge shout out to Liz again. You can check out her stuff out as well. She's a Learn Guide contributor. Her recent Learn Guide was the BLE synth, and yeah, hopefully we can keep working on some new projects. So that's the MIDI guitar. We need a good name for it.
Cannot wait for this one. It's so cool.
We need like a good MIDI name. Yeah, I don't know how to play guitar, but I'm learning with this guy here. So I hope you enjoyed that demo.
So
we'll try to demo it again. Oh, it's so exciting. Coupon code cadence if you want to pick up a Grand Central.
These are in stock, so definitely pick some up if you want to get ready. Build this for not next week, the week after. We'll be releasing all the files and the code and all that lovely, wonderful.
So many wires. It's like a lot of wires.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's fun though.
But so fun.
Very, very fun. Cool.
All right, let's go ahead and try to speed round through this week's community makes. Last week
we'll save Adabot for next week. So let's.
Yeah. Okay, last week, this awesome little Dalek, Doctor Who has been running a new season. So of course we got to print some Daleks.
This looks great in that copper fill.
Yeah, that's actually why I printed it. I wanted to check out what the finish and the quality was on this. No post processing, just the lovely silk copper from Everyone, his name, I believe. Erwan, yeah. Like $20 on Amazon, and man, look at that shine.
Yeah, check it out over here.
Oh yeah.
We got a time-lapse video. You can get an idea of what it looks like. You use support material, I suppose.
Yeah, just because I wanted to print it in one go. You could. He does have one where it's separated, but for shooting a time lapse, it's going to look kind of weird shooting the different pieces. So that's some of the decisions we have to take when printing these for the time lapse.
William Carver is the fellow who posted it up on Thingiverse. So here it is, the Thingiverse page. We also have a link to this thing in the description of this video. Yeah, really nice.
It'll make a lovely ornament, or if you go
do not print it in that orientation. Whoops. Just kind of threw it up there. Hey, it's a nice little kind of demo desktop toy. Yeah, very, very cool.
That's really cool.
All right, that was last week. Next week, this week, we have a Snitch from the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this one is the way that the feathers are printed. I really liked how, I didn't do it for this one, but you can use a hair dryer to add a bit of curve to it, so it is nice and
let's go to that.
Is curvy.
Wow, look at that. That's PLA. When you print it thin enough, wow, look at that.
All right.
When you print it, the motion blur is just superb. When you print it, come on, Noah, finish the sentence. When you print it thin enough, boy, do you get flexibility.
Yeah. So it's
Cool.
supposed to be like that. You can use a hair blow dryer to...
Or warm water. I've heard warm water is
That'll work too.
another way to do it.
So you can bend that at a very nice
Look at
angle.
this material. It's really shiny.
So this, again, from the same manufacturer.
One.
This is the Silk Gold.
Silk
Super
Gold.
shiny.
PLA 175.
So good.
That is so cool. What do you guys think?
Definitely check that one out. It's a nice way to test the tolerance of each one of these little feathers. I liked how that came out.
Cool.
For like each individual feather.
Yeah, this is great. I got a fun question here. Can I answer it real quick?
Yeah, KMatch98 is asking for the layer by layer, what is some of the hints to design your sketches in Fusion 360 so the parametric designs don't break?
Yeah, so this is something that you really want to just test frequently. It really depends on the design structure, but you always want to kind of check what will break, and depending on where things are and if things are projected, just keep testing it. And
so there's no one solution answer.
No, but that's
this.
I guess the best hint I have is just to test frequently. Yeah, I should do a little video on that. I got some in-practice designs that I can take a look at and maybe walk through and be like, here's why this design is set up and what I had to change
what
to
is
make it
making
so it
this
doesn't
break.
Yeah, or why does this break, and then fixing that. That's a really good idea. So I like that. Very good question. Yeah. Cool. So we did the snitch. Let's go to the actual page over here. This was designed by Mecha Design over here on Thingiverse. Thank you, Mecha, for uploading that so folks can print their own snitch and get snitched out. No, it looks really good. Very nice quality here. The sanding and painting is
he did some post-processing on this.
Oh yeah,
read through
ABS.
that. Some acetone, smoothing on it to make it look
a remix.
super shiny. Yeah.
A remix.
Yeah, the remix. What he did here was, if you go to the overhead, the wings can actually come out.
Excellent. No, that's a great little tip.
It's a nice little idea for that.
How'd you print the ball?
In the time lapse, you can see that there is support material on the bottom of that. So I just use the generate support materials for that. One of the things I use is to lower the line width for the support. So I had it go to 0.2 for the line width. So it prints it way thinner, making it easier to remove.
Sweet. Oh, and you threw that up there too. Very cool. All right, well that's the stuff. Let's look at some real quick. We'll browse through some community makes of some things that folks have made.
This is awesome.
So let's look over here.
Nice case for the CPB.
Shout out to Lubarb, who posted up a remix of our gizmo ornament for the Circuit Playground Bluefruit or the Circuit Playground Express. They punched out the holes here so that the screws can fit through that. That is a really good technique there. Yeah, I should have did that. No, but thank you for sharing that. It's up there so folks can download that one. We got another one here. This is the Circuit Playground Express Snap Fit Mount. It'll also work with the Bluefruit. And this one is the Bluefruit. Excellent. Yeah, I love this one because it has like little extra mounting screws here at the bottom, and there's enough to fit a battery so that you can have a nice portable little mount for your Circuit Playground Bluefruit or Express.
Super handy.
Cool. And then we printed it on the Ultimaker 2 Extended. Yay. No supports needed. Excellent. All right, this one was posted by Gut Tire, maybe. These are the Res NeoPixel glasses. Very, very fun project.
Oh, nice.
Super awesome code by Phil B, written in CircuitPython. So there's a couple issues here. The cover for the Itsy Bitsy, I'm going to throw that one up there. The battery's out of stock, but we're working on getting more of them, so he's got the bigger one there. The wires are really small, so you want to definitely be careful with the wires. Yeah, it's a very kind of, you definitely want to use tweezers, like two tweezers. So they're very, very fun. Good wiring practice there. Cool. And then we got another one. This is the Lynx Shield, the Highland Shields. This looks like a nice little prop to go with the gold NES controller video game of the original, I guess,
Oh, I
Zelda.
like it.
Yeah, very, very cool. That looks great. Great painting job as well. And then we have one here. This is the Gizmo Turtle for your Circuit Playground Bluefruit and the Gizmo display, the TFT one.
Wow, I like how smooth the little turtle came out.
Really good, yeah, good color too.
Especially the
Hatchbox, the Warhorse PLA, green and wood. That's looking nice.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, look at that. It was a birthday present for the mom in Florida.
How awesome.
Very cool. Save the turtles.
And you can check out the Learn guide for that, how it's generating the turtle graphics.
Oh, that's right. Turtle for your turtle. Very cool. And that is all the community weeks of the past 2 weeks. We really appreciate folks posting your makes. That's always fun. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start closing up the show. We're a little bit on overtime. Please use coupon code CADENCE if you are checking stuff out. You can get 10% off your order. Works with everything except the gift certificates and those subscriptions to AdaBox.
Yes.
But everything else is fair game.
Join us tonight on Show and Tell. You can join. We'll post the link in the Discord once it gets closer to that time. So you can show off all the cool projects you're working on. It doesn't even have to be finished. It could be a work in progress.
We like RetroTech.
Exactly,
yeah. Maker spaces as well.
That's always super fun.
It's always
Definitely
fun to
check
see.
out the playlist. There's a lot of cool maker spaces out there, and I like seeing the tours of those. Right after that, we have Ask an Engineer, full hour with Lamar and Phil on all of the new products, all the news, all of the happenings in the maker world. So definitely tune into that. There's always surprises and new product launches. And there's a giveaway right at the end, so tune in for that.
Yep.
Tomorrow is John Park's workshop. John is working on more BLE stuff. I think he's ramping up, getting ready for the AdaBox project, so you can get a clue on what's going to be in it.
Get a clue on what's going to be. That's so clever.
So definitely check out John Park's workshop every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out all the wonderful Make Code Minutes, the Make Arcade Game of the Week, and so much more.
Yeah.
You have been watching 3D Hangouts.
Oh, here I am.
Every week. Talk about last week. We had some. I had to do. Take care of the baby. Well, wife had some surgery, so thank you all.
But she's well. She's doing well.
All good. So definitely, anytime, there's a
follow Pedro on Instagram.
Yeah, you can see what's going on.
He's got snaps of all the things that happen.
So thank you all for joining us every week.
Yep.
And closing out, don't forget to
make a great day.
See you tonight, folks.
I wish I could just shred it. Bye, folks. We'll see you tonight. Adios.